Jaguars.
Okay.
All right, we're going to talk some football. But we'll start a little NFL real quick. It's been about a month since we've been on together, but we are in Cowboys Country. So you can't avoid watching the Cowboys. Right?
Yeah. Diehards over here.
Diehards. Okay. So we're 4 games in. Cowboys coming off a tie, which
that was a win.
A tie that was a win because they shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
But Dak played amazing.
Yeah.
But, and when Dak plays like that, it just lets you know that, hey, if you give me like a bunch of guys that can catch and some people that can block, I'm pretty good out here. Blocking and catching is key. It kind of works. Yeah. But as far as the Cowboys offense and their defense and how they've looked so far, I wanted to know your early impressions of Brian Schottenheimer and Matt Eberflus so far. Let's start with Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer, I'm like an 11 out of 10, I'm going to say. The sports world has misconstrued who Brian Schottenheimer is. They look at him as a failed head coach somewhere. It's like they treat him like he went somewhere and failed at being a head coach. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Instead of somebody who was astute enough to turn down opportunities and be like, maybe this isn't the right time for me, and sat and bided his time. He may be the greatest head coaching prospect ever. In
the time of the super senior in college football, he is the super senior candidate as far as first-time coaches go. It's showing.
He came in talking about culture, and I'm seeing it. The first game of the season against the Eagles, imagine if we came out against the 49ers in any of those playoff games playing that buttoned up and that ready to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we would have beat the Niners in either of those years if we came up that buttoned up and that ready to go. So he put his money where his mouth is.
It just shows you that Mike McCarthy held back Kellen Moore and held back Brian Schottenheimer. And so how many years of Dak's career did he have to suffer behind?
Join into shame, because we could have said this the day that he was hired, right? This is the sentiments that we had the day that Mike McCarthy was hired. I'm like, how are you hiring a Mike McCarthy when the rest of the league is not going in this direction?
And Aaron Rodgers could have multiple Super Bowls if it wasn't for Mike McCarthy.
That's how I'm in the school.
I'm in that school.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody this week who was kind of, they're saying, I think McCarthy's good because I'm like, based on what? And I'm like, I think Aaron Rodgers would have more Super Bowls if he had a different.
I do. With McCarthy, he held people back as far as the innovative way that the league was going. Yeah, he didn't like pre-snap motion. Yeah, in today's NFL, but I feel like he's a dinosaur.
Yeah,
and I just feel like with a tight end being a head coach, I think you have to be a guy that people will run through walls for. And I don't think that he's that passion guy.
Like a Dan King.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that he was offensively innovative enough to ever get the accolades that he got. And to me, he's still, and I always looked at him, and me and you are football heads for real.
Yeah.
He's one of the main guys that said that he wanted Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers because he didn't like his attitude.
Yeah, I'm like, to me, Mike McCarthy looks like a good football coach from 30,000 feet away. That's what he looks like, because he seems like he's a good motivator.
I think he's a high school coach.
Yeah,
he's a high school coach
with like 3 or 4 state championships in Philadelphia, in Pittsburgh.
And what's crazy in Pittsburgh, these people would rather have Mike McCarthy than Mike Tomlin as their head coach at this point in time.
I'm sure they will. They don't. Yeah, they don't.
And I think it's just because people look at offensive coach being a good head coaching hire, but you have to see what the offense is and see what that guy does. And I feel like people are trying to act like he's Andy Reid or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me a break. Andy Reid is different. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's way different.
And your question was, can you shit on Mike McCarthy?
I'm sorry. Thumbs up, Brian Schottenheimer. It's like Mike McCarthy held you back, right? That's what we're pretty much trying to say, right? McCarthy's like, that wasn't the question.
Yeah, but like I said, the day McCarthy out, it was bad for Dak Prescott, and maybe we're seeing the real Dak Prescott for the first time.
Because you're seeing the pre-snap stuff. You're seeing Dak call audibles.
Yeah.
He's never had that freedom.
Yeah.
Because whenever Garrett was here, he was too young to get that opportunity. But if you're going to pay him this much money, then put it on him. Put it on him. If you don't think your quarterback should call audibles, then don't be paying him this type of crazy.
I'm excited for the next 4 or 5 years of his Schottenheimer and Dak together. That's scary for the rest of the league.
Yeah, I like that he's innovative, and I think that these guys like him. Yeah. And I think that the fact that he's been around the game so long, he is a true football guy, and there's nothing fake about him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And plus, you ever seen a dude wear a visor not call a tight game plan? Come on now.
I'll put on a baseball cap. My brain was percolating so hard.
Gruden, he just OG'd it, right?
Yeah. When you're an offensive genius, a visor just appears on you.
You got to. On Eberflus. That's what he's done this season.
It's work in progress. I would have loved if they kept Zimmer around for last year. It would have been an easy transition. I don't think he wanted to stay. Eberflus, they see the defense as a work in product. We've seen proven concept with Eberflus. He can put together a good defense. Yeah. I respect him as a defense coordinator even coming into this year. Now,
my biggest problem with Eberflus is I feel like the linebacker coach turned defensive coordinator is problematic because he wants linebackers out there in a game where you only need two out there. Because he's still a 4-3 guy and you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that the way that Eberflus is running these guys out here, I just think that maybe he should take a page out of what Zimmer did a little bit and what actually Dan Quinn did with Marquise Bell and use him more as that rover type of linebacker, or even Wanye Thomas because he has a size to do it.
That's what Belichick would do.
Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell in one play last week made sure the Cowboys had a tie with that great special teams play. Wanye Thomas blocked the extra point. Marquise Bell ran it back. I'm like, those should be our starting safeties. They playmakers even on special teams. It's just the amount of money that we're paying Donovan Wilson to have these talented safeties out here. Because would you be shocked if any of these guys went elsewhere and became a Pro Bowl?
For the longest time, I thought that they were going to start either Thomas or Marquise Bell. I was so shocked, like in the 2023 season when one of them didn't come out as a starter. I think
that's a reason why I really can't fault Eberflus, because I would have thought going into this offseason that Donovan Wilson needs to be worried about having a job. It's like I think that Malik Hooker needs to be worried about having a job. You know why? Because I'm going to have Micah Parsons on this defensive line, and we're going to get this deal done. And it didn't happen. So Trayvon Diggs is about to be on the pup, but then I had Micah Parsons, one of the best pass rushing weapons in all of football. I run a 4-man front always. He's a necessity for me. Would I have even taken this job if I didn't know that Micah Parsons was going to be here? Was that the plan all along, that Micah Parsons was going to be the third linebacker? And he was going to do crazy stuff with Micah Parsons because he's a weapon and there's so many things you can do with him. So I can't fault Eberflus and not having Micah Parsons. And I can't fault him for running all the zone coverage with a beat up secondary. You need the proper guys to match up in man, and we haven't had those guys with Eberflus in a defensive coordinator. And with Diggs, he looked good week 1 when Bland was healthy. Then he didn't look good when Bland was gone. So, and everybody's over here complaining about the concepts. How come people don't get zone? It's like these guys have been playing man because these are NFL athletes.
I think a lot of people were taken aback that because they gave up 40 points against the Packers, people are still disappointed in the defense. I feel like I saw the defense take a step forward in that Packers game. I feel like I saw Ezra Raku seem like the game slowed down for him. That's how I would describe it. Like in the previous games, he was not in the right spot. So like, okay, he's starting to be in the right spot to make plays.
The hardest thing to do is be a rookie defensive lineman in the NFL because these dudes be holding. As a guy who's always getting sacks and making plays, to come to a league where holding is pretty much allowed is a frustrating situation. And I think that Mozzie Smith hasn't gotten through that adversity. It's like, they be holding, bro. You got to deal with it and find a way to beat it. Like, you can't tell the ref that they holding all the time because that's what they do.
So going forward, I see our secondary getting a little bit more healthy. Maybe we'll get more variety in our safeties that we put on the field out there. I see Ezra Raku taking a step forward. I hope that Eberflus understands that James Houston's his best pass rusher on that team. You know what I'm saying? He's with the best pass rusher all through training camp. He's your best pass rusher, and he's getting less snaps than a lot of your other edges.
And I think what they started doing last week is they actually started to slide Sam Williams inside, because Sam Williams is strong and fast, but he really doesn't have the instincts. I want to say that he grew up a basketball player for the most part. You know, coming back from the injuries.
4-for-40, but never plays like.
And to me, it's crazy. This dude was an all SEC 10 sack guy at Ole Miss, and Micah Parsons never played with his hand on the ground in college.
You have the physical profile where you should be able to do that type of stuff, but Micah's just so instinctive.
Micah Parsons was not supposed to be an edge rusher in the NFL. He was brought in this league to be a Mike. Even though coming out of high school, I want to say he was compared to Khalil Mack.
He was the number 1 pass rusher in high school.
And then he made the transition because he was the shortest of all the edge rushers coming in. As far as Eberflus, I guess we're going to say to be determined.
To be determined, but it looked encouraging. The Packers put a 40 on us. It looked encouraging to me. I see progress.
Okay.
James Houston, feature him in that Micah Parsons role.
Let's talk about the actual game. On Sunday, the Cowboys are going to play the Jets. Now, my biggest question, I think the test for Eberflus is, can he contain Justin Fields in this game? Because we just saw what happened with Caleb Williams a few weeks ago. Pretty much the Aaron Glenn staff is handpicked from guys that he was brought over with him from Detroit, and Chicago has the rest of the Detroit coordinators. And Aaron Glenn came up under Dennis Allen, and Dennis Allen is the Bears defensive coordinator, and they're both Aggies, so they kind of run the same kind of defense. So I just think that we're going to have the same issues with a more athletic quarterback. What do you think?
Well, that run last week, Justin Fields, that's like one of the best quarterback runs I've ever seen. People aren't really talking about it because I think a lot of there's a lot of fast quarterbacks, but not a lot of quarterbacks have running back instincts. And I don't even know that I've ever seen that from Justin Fields before, but I'm like, I don't know a lot of running backs would have housed that, man.
No, and to me, it's like, say, like Cam when he runs. Cam's a tank. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields could be a running back. But yeah, I do think, Tanner Engstrand, he's pretty much been under Ben Johnson the whole time in Detroit. Okay. So he was like the quarterback coach, but he never got the chance to call plays. And a lot of people were like, oh, he must not be that good because Ben Johnson didn't take him. I'm like, whoever says that doesn't know anything about football. Yeah. It's like he didn't go to Ben Johnson because he wants to call the play. Ben Johnson will always get the credit. So the quicker you can be the play caller, this was the right move. And I think to have somebody like a Justin Fields as an athlete, it's going to be something amazing. And I just think that the Cowboys are going to be in trouble.
This defense, like I said, they look like they're going in the right direction, but this could be dangerous. Like, seems like maybe that Jets running game is just looking to burst out and emerge, and maybe this could be that game, right?
Yeah. Well, I just think that, I do like Breece Hall. Yeah, he's a phenomenal athlete at running back, and I just think that the threat of Justin Fields just opens things up so much more.
I think they like to give Braylon Allen the ball a lot and close to the goal line. Yeah,
he's a problem. Yeah, he's a beast. Like in the right situation. I wasn't the biggest Braylon Allen fan when he was at Wisconsin, just because I'm like, you be playing linebacker for me, bro. And I think he was recruited by a lot of places to be a linebacker. It's like, of course, you're 6'2", 240, man. So I like my linebackers. It's like, and you can run. You got running back skills. Like, yes, you are. That's exactly what I want all my linebackers to have been high school running backs. So that's
to me, if I'm recruiting a linebacker,
I definitely want to see it.
Let me see you take it to the house that first play. I haven't seen a defensive rep yet.
It's just like how football scouts will go scout football players at the basketball game to see them dunk.
That's how Bob Stoops offered DeMarco Murray. He just saw him dunking in the gym. I'm like, it's scout.
It's like Art Browse was giving away scholarships at the Texas Relays. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you go to this 2A school, but you're on a 10-3?
That'd be my coaching strategy. That's exactly for these kids when they're freshmen.
Yeah. It's like a 10-3 and you're a freshman? All right, you got a scholarship before anybody else. All right.
Never forget me.
Okay, Joe. Now, as far as this Jets game, do you have a key matchup that you're looking at in this game? I do have one.
I think the natural people would say George Pickens and the Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I think that is the matchup.
And I think last year Gardner had a pretty good game against him when he played for the Steelers over here. I love the fact that everybody recognized that Stingley's a better cornerback than Sauce Gardner now. That Stingley name was famous before.
Yeah, and his dad famously went to Purdue to play football and thought he was too small, and then ended up making a career out of it, like an AFL career. Now he's like a coach, I believe. So that I've always known the name Stingley to know is like, oh, that's the guy who played, the son of the guy who got paralyzed. It's like, but he's like a two-way player in the AFL. Yeah, enough about that. I know he's getting deep, but yeah, George Pickens, Sauce Gardner.
So Gardner, I like he's very physical cornerback, and it can be a really good match. So that's like the prototype size. If you got a 6'3" receiver, you want like a 6'2" corner.
That's exactly what you want. Because you'd be happy with a 6'1" corner. Yeah. So Sauce, this is the type of matchup. It's like if you draft a Sauce Gardner in the first round, he's supposed to own a second round pick in George Pickens, right? Yeah. And I think it'll be an interesting matchup just because this isn't the quarterback carousel that George Pickens has been dealing with the last few years.
So for me with this Cowboys Jets matchup, I think going into it, the logical idea would be that, this is going to be offensive explosion. I think one defense is going to step up. I don't think both defenses will play bad. I think you'll see something like, I know that's what you expect, but I'm not sure.
No, man, because as far as my player to watch, like if you're a Cowboys fan, it's like, you better watch out for this man because he's going to break this game open. Okay. Garrett Wilson, man. Okay. It's like, to me, really, every team's number one or a speedy slot guy is a problem, right? Because to me, it's like, I don't know if you heard me a couple of weeks ago, whenever I said that the Cowboys' problem in the game against the Bears is that all five, the Bears have 5 receivers that can beat these Cowboys deep in the slot. Yeah. Whether it's Luther Burden, whether it's Zacchaeus. They were scared about Odunze to where they got attacked. And I just feel like Garrett Wilson is going to be a problem. And I think that I believe last week Trayvon Diggs didn't get the start, but I really believe that Trayvon Diggs is playing hurt. And it's like once they had a healthy blend, it's like, all right, let's pick situations. Yeah. Like, and he's still going to be the outside corner when we go.
And they said he's starting this week. He's back in the starting line.
Yeah. So. And to me, I feel like the hate is so strong on him right now, but it's like, this is what he always was. Yeah. He's a wide receiver turn cornerback. His key is that he can play the ball in the air better than any other cornerback.
I think it's a bit misguided hate because the first thing the organization was hating on him off season, talking about he wasn't rehabbing, he's not ready. I'm like, he was there first game of the season, so like he did what he needed to do.
But the thing, I don't know. There was a report last year that says that the Cowboys, as far as their rehabilitation facilities and other things, as far as taking care of their athletes, like they're rated one of the worst out of the 32 clubs in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's like, so to me, once I heard that, then all is forgiven as far
you can't knock
like, this is my body. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what's best because I'm rich enough to find professionals.
Yeah, it's like you can't knock an athlete. To me, it can be like, okay, can you give us updates? And like, as long as I'm getting updates and I know you take it, or shoot us a video, do what you need to do. If you feel comfortable with that doctor, I'm like,
and they recognize him. Well,
and he was ready for the first game of the season.
I've always said that's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about like, that's why,
money. It took a man's money, $500,000.
That's why they report how much NFL players make. It's to upset you, but you don't know how much these owners make. They want you to be against the player.
Yeah.
It's like they want you to put the team over the player. So they tell you how much they make so you can say that they don't deserve.
They're always asking these people to put themselves behind the team. It's like,
but at the end of the day, it's like you're going to put the team in front of them. So you have to be smart about it in the business of football. But do you have a different player that you think the Cowboys should pay attention to?
Maybe Will McDonald over here. Seems like he's finally emerging as that premier kind of pass rusher. I love the talent, love the physique.
He's showing why he was a first round.
Yeah, he's getting to understand the NFL.
Yeah, to me it was a weird pick whenever they made it, just because I think didn't they just get Aaron Rodgers and they should have got an offensive weapon.
Yeah, and then they drafted like Jermaine Johnson before or something.
Yeah. But to me, it's like, I get it. They're athletic guys on the edge, and if you can get a good pass rush out of the other one, if they get attention, the other guy's athletic.
Yeah, and if you feel like Will Johnson was an underrated prospect, like, oh, he's not going because you in the 20s or something? Where did you get drafted?
Yeah, well, because he had short arms.
Yeah.
Get to the actual score. Who you got in this game? Or not the score, but just a prediction.
I think maybe Cowboys by 6. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
People gonna hate me. Jets gonna cover that 3 points and they gonna win. I just think that Justin Fields is more dangerous as a dual threat. Justin Fields is a more talented quarterback than Jalen Hurts. What can Jalen Hurts do better than Justin Fields?
Okay, well, Jalen Hurts' superpower is him getting better in the playoffs and in the end of games.
But what would Nick Sirianni be doing?
Well, stop picking on Jalen Hurts. Who is more talented than Justin Fields? Who is Justin Fields not more talented than?
I think Justin Fields might be the most talented quarterback. That's just because it's a Dallas bias club.
Remember on our show, I said Justin Fields is the most talented quarterback to come. Physically, the most gifted quarterback to probably come to the NFL.
Right, so a little off topic. Did you see Cam Newton rate his top 10? What was it? I think he was, I need to let it slide because there's no way. Jalen Hurts was a 4-star. He wasn't 5-star, right?
Yeah, he wasn't 5-star.
Okay, all right, so never mind. All right, I'll forgive. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, Justin Fields?
Five-star.
He was 5-star.
Yeah.
All right, he left Justin Fields off the greatest 5-star quarterback, top 10 5-star quarterback recruits since the year 2000. But he put Trevor Lawrence in there.
Well.
And it's like, and I'm pretty sure you coached both of these dudes.
Yeah.
In some type of capacity.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that coming out, Justin Fields was your dude.
He played 7 on 7.
So it's like, so I was shocked for him to not say like, because he had like a and a B for a couple of different ones.
Yeah.
And like, now maybe it's because he just said 5-star guys. It wasn't quarterback. No.
Okay.
No. He didn't put himself on there.
Okay. Yeah.
But he put Tebow on there. I was just a little shocked. I'm like, if you put Trevor Lawrence, I would have thought that at least Cam would put Justin Fields.
Yeah, because when you think Trevor Lawrence, you got to evaluate Justin Fields in your mind. Because that means you thought about Justin Fields and said no. That's what that means. You said no.